Welcome into another edition of Training Grounds Dispatch here on the SDH Network, presented by Kaiser Permanente. I'm Caroline Hood, we're joined by Madison Crews, and we're getting you ready for the Seattle Sounders game against Atlanta United this Saturday. We had a chance to catch up with Lennon and Ronny Deila, and here's what they had to say.
When new players come into a group and players leave a group, it can create kind of a different dynamic. Are you starting to see that play out this week on the training pitch?
Every club I come into, I come in and I assess. I give everybody a chance, and then I see again who I think has the three things that I talk about always. Is one, are you willing to sacrifice everything to be the best version of yourself? Two, are you coachable? Also, are you able to take in information and improve the things that we want to do? And three, skills. You know, that's the three things you look for. And now I've been here for 6 months, and I have a very clear idea of what is the reason that we are in the situation we are, and what kind of types we need, and who we want to go forward with, and what kind of culture we want to have in the club. And I think we've been working really hard on the culture side, and I think we're coming quite far, and it's even harder when you're not winning football games. So, but you need to hold the line and keep going, and then in the end also things will fall in place with results. That's the only way getting forward.
Have you seen a positive response from the rest of the group to Enea coming in this week?
Yeah, I see positive. Of course, it creates the dynamic energy. Of course, it does that, and the competition. So that will always affect the team in a good way.
What does Seattle do well, and how do you guys get 3 points on Saturday?
They are very structured. They have very good football players in the center of the pitch, especially. So comfortable on the ball. They play with some almost a little bit arrogance because they have confidence, and they know they can do things. They play defending wise. We will have the ball. So it's about exploiting their weaknesses that I not want to tell so much about, but we know what they do, and offensively is again the same things that we talked about, but they are a little bit you need to be very accurate in your pressing, because if not you will play it out, because they play a chess game with the opponents, and we know exactly what is difficult when they go to a 3-4-3 like they are playing. So we need to be very clear in that, and we are at home. We want to attack. We want to keep an intensity into the game. So, like every Atlanta team should be. And there was so many good things in the last game. It's frustrating to stay and again talk about losing 3 points, but many things of what we did there was, we do that again. We will win football games. That's for sure. So we need to get better on small details, but overall. The performances has gone the right way now the last 2-3 weeks.
When results are what they are, how important is it for you and your staff to stay true to your principles of how you want the team to be?
That's everything. The day you lose yourself, then you have to do something different. I have to be real. We have to be real. We have to know who we are and what we want to do. There has to be a clear red line that we have to follow, and then we have to walk that line, everybody. And as I said, it's tougher, but I think also when you come out of this kind of situation, you maybe learn more than you will do if you have gonna and win half of the games and be in a better position. So we just have to remember when we got out of it. We have to remember what we have been through, and what is the learning about it. You know, why did it happen, and so it did not happen again.
Seattle's a team that you don't see a whole lot here in Atlanta, but you know from over the years during your time at RSL. How would you describe the way that Brian Schmetzer wants his team to play?
Yeah, they're a very good team. They've been for years. They have a style of play. They like to, go from one side to the other. We watched a lot of film on them this morning. They've got really quality players in Albert Rusnak, who I played with in Salt Lake. Christian Roldan, all those guys that have been there for quite a while now, and. But look at our roster. We've got some serious talent as well, and we got firepower. To push right back at them. So I think it's going to be an exciting game at the Benz. Hopefully, we can create some energy, for the fans, and we're going in for 3 points only. It's unacceptable to come out of these games, with ties or losses, especially at home. So we're going with everything for this game, and not focusing on what's next.
I'll ask you something to ask Ronny. When results aren't there, how important is it for the team to stay true to its principles of play in these moments?
Yeah, it's very important for us to stick to what we preach and what Ronny wants us to do in training and accomplish in games as well. Sometimes when the results aren't coming along, you can stray away from the plan at times, but first things first is hard work, in training, and trying to simulate game pace and game intensity in training, so that when the game comes, we're all over the opponent, and we're there to win games.
How important is it for you as somebody who's very involved in the attack, like you said, to make sure that the way that we're playing is unpredictable or unique, and making sure that we catch the defenders off guard? Yeah,
that's a great question. I think we need to mix up our movements in games, and not be so static in our positions, especially in the final third. To catch an opponent off guard, you need good movement from each side, from the right side and the left side. And we had video this week, just right-sided players only, and the left-sided players had meeting separately to try to create those relationships. And if I move into this space, then another place can vacate, or vice versa with Miguel or Alexi or Manu. Just trying to create those relationships and movements so that we can catch a team off guard.
Maddie, what did you make of what they were saying about kind of what their mindset is going to this game, and with the transfer window going on?
Yeah, I mean, it was really interesting. We also had the chance to catch up with Chris Henderson earlier, right before training, and you'll get to hear a little bit more about that in another video coming on SDH Network as well. But talking to Ronny Deila and Brooks Lennon, obviously that there's going to be changes happening. We've been confirmed that from Chris Henderson, from Ronny Deila before. And, one of those changes in Anea Mihai is already coming in as well, and you're already kind of starting to see his impact. Ronny Deila talked about him being a leader in the back line. Brooks Lennon talked about it too, him being a strong presence, and it's kind of getting to know those relationships and getting the chance to create those moments on the field. It's something Sofia Cupertino said to Brooks Lennon, talking about those relationships. They had meetings where they had a moment to chat with the right-sided players, the left-sided players, to get those connections going, to talk about what they saw on the field in those moments. And that's what you want to see heading into Seattle this Saturday. You want to see those connections start to brew, and especially going up against a really solid Seattle side. You got to make sure that you're on it. You got to make sure that you're there, make sure that you're solid defensively, and make sure that you're getting things going up top. Be a little bit more creative, be unpredictable.
Yeah, it's kind of seeming like it's going to be a must-win game for Atlanta with the piece of past results. Like, what is the mindset you think they have to go into with it, and kind of the changes that they might have to make?
Yeah, it is becoming a must-win because, looking at the last results, you're inching closer and closer away from that playoff picture. You're a couple of points out, and you only have a couple of games left in the season. You got to start making these things count. Brooks Lennon said it. It's not. We're not going into it thinking, a draw is going to be fine. We need 3 points. We're not going to be satisfied if it's not 3 points, and that has to be the mindset going in. You got to make sure that you're getting 3 points. You got to make sure that you're doing the things you want to do, and you got to listen to what the coaching staff wants as well. In the last couple of games, in that Charlotte matchup, you can't give up 2 goals in a span of, less than 5 minutes in the second half. You cannot do that. That has to change going into Seattle. You have to be on it. You have to be switched on and ready to go, because Seattle is a team that will make you pay on the counter, because as Ronny said, they're going to have the ball a lot more in this matchup. So they're going to be able to do a lot more. They're going to be able to build up from the back, get some things going on the attack. But if you give up the ball in those moments, Seattle's going to go back the other way, and they're going to hurt you because they have a lot of really star players on their side. But we're going to have a lot of fun with it on Saturday. We're all going to have so much coverage going on. You're going to make sure you're writing our recaps, everything else like that. So give Caroline Hood some love as well on our social medias all over the place. But pregame will start on 92.9 The Game at 6:30 p.m. with myself and Abe Gordon. Then we'll toss it over to the voices of Atlanta United with Mike Conti and Jason Longshore, who are going to have the call for you around 7:40. But hey, it's a must-win for Atlanta United. Let's get them things going.